Play.
This is City SC Posse. STL Soccer first, always. An NFNP pod production.
Well, that was a rough one. No doubt about it. I struggled the whole time watching this game. We sucked the whole game. We didn't have any good chances. The only exciting part of the game was some big saves from Bürki.
Yeah, Bürki had an active game. He had a lot of solid saves for us, kept this game from being, 5-0. Not much else can really be said positively. It was a game to miss. If you missed it, you're happy.
For sure, and Sunday Night Soccer, right? It's a nationally televised game. It was, of course, broadcast on Apple, which had issues. I don't know why. It kept the feed cut out a couple of times. So then I moved over to FS1, and honestly, I think I like their announcers better. Certainly their feed was better.
Believe it. All of a sudden, watching the game, it's 1-0, we're down. It goes to what I assumed was some kind of commercial for an injury break. I wasn't sure what was happening.
I think it just cut out.
Jumps back on. We're down 2-0.
Yep.
And I'm left wondering what happened. Not surprised. Not surprised being away from the game for 30 seconds and we're coming back to a goal.
That's all it takes.
It was rough.
Yeah. Well, then even coming out of the first half, they started the feed back into the game late, right? So like the second half had already started, and I'm like, well, wait, like what are you doing, Apple?
I thought maybe I missed something. I'm sure I was down on my phone, looked up, and was like, oh, I missed part of the game.
No. But again, not like it matters. I mean, we predicted some things. We said right off the bat, we can't give up an early goal, and that's what we do.
Yeah, I think
that's what we do.
I think I said the first 15 minutes were going to be important. Clearly, I should have limited it to the first 5 minutes, first 3 minutes. That was key. That set the tone. We were down 1-0, and nobody felt good about it from there.
No, I definitely did not. I mean, it looked like they were going to roll, and to come out just losing, 2-0. We got very lucky. I mean, another thing that we said in the last episode was that we're going to need Bürki to come up big. We didn't really need him in the first game against Charlotte, but we were like, we need him. We're going to need him against San Diego. And sure enough, we were 2 for 2 on our predictions there. Bürki had himself a great game. I don't know how he wasn't, one of the Matchday players of the day. Honestly, with all the saves that he had. I know he gave up 2 goals, so I guess that's probably why. But not that he really had any chance on those. So thanks Bürki, I guess, for not making it embarrassing on the score sheet at least. When you look at the stats, it's still pretty embarrassing. We had no shots on target, not a single one.
I did not know that, and I don't know how that's possible based on some of the chances that we had. How we didn't have 2 goals, I don't know what Betcher was doing. Put the ball in the back of the net. You're right there in front of you. Just touch it.
Yeah, that one.
Cross. Like, I don't know.
That was eerily similar to the goal that Klaus scored, his first goal of the game the day before. So Klaus finishes that one. Betcher does not. I think that's the difference. And of course, Klaus, 2 games in, he's got 3 goals on the year. So starting strong with the Galaxy. So, Betcher is not on the same level as Klaus. He should have scored that goal. Now we had another one that got cleared off the goal line. I guess they didn't count it as a shot on target. It got cleared out by the defender. I don't know if that actually makes a difference.
Yeah, I don't know.
And maybe it wasn't so much a shot as it was a deflection or something else.
Yep.
But yeah, officially it did not count as a shot. I know Toy Shirt, he came in later in the game. He was a spark. Pompeo was a little bit of a spark, and I want to touch on that in a little bit. Toy Shirt had 1 or 2 opportunities that got close, went just wide. So again, no official shot on target. We had 2 shots, 0 on target. They had 6 shots, 3 on target, 2 went in. Possession though, this is where
Yep. Before you tell me what it is, I know on the last game I thought we had dominated the game,
and it was closer than
when
you
we
thought.
were there
Right.
live, and I think it was in like 54% possession for that first game.
Yeah.
This game felt obviously they had the ball the whole time. They had to have had the ball the whole time. You're probably going to read off and it's going to be like 55% or something like that. But I didn't feel like we had possession at any point in the game.
Right.
We had some
the eye test,
chances, but
the eye test tells you that they had the ball to hold the game. The official possession was 63-37.
All right, yeah,
So
that lines up probably more with.
I mean, anything above 60%, you're definitely controlling the game. But here is a key stat: number of passes. They had 637. We had 387. So pretty drastic difference there in the number of passes. And their pass accuracy was 91%. Ours was 85%. Also, there weren't a lot of fouls. They had 1 foul. We had 3. Like that's not a lot. And that's not normal for us. So what that tells me, and again, coming back from the eye test, we were content just letting them kick the ball around.
Yep.
We were
trying
hanging
to survive
back,
and
trying to survive.
Get back
exactly.
get back to our old game of the counterattack.
Yep.
What we've seen, previously.
Right. Which we did not have a good counterattack. We weren't really fast enough. They had enough possession that we couldn't really mount a true counterattack. Whenever we did have the opportunity, Wallem would run down the wing, step on the ball, and pass it back. Like,
we like when he does that, don't we?
It is the worst. And that is the one thing. So Pompeo came in, it's his first action of the season, came in, and at least that was something. He'll take the ball to the corner. He'll take on players one-on-one, which our other wide midfielders will not do. One, they're not fast enough to do it. 2, I'm assuming they don't have the one-on-one dribbling skills necessary to do it. And so they rely on passing the ball back. Well, you're not going to score any goals when you're passing the ball backwards, man.
No, yeah. That killed me at the end of the game. We're down 2-0, and that's what we're doing with the last second of the game is pulling it back, bringing it back to the defense. Right? We've got maybe 30 seconds left in this game.
So the other thing was,
we press it
along that same line. Even when we didn't have the ball, there's 5 minutes left in the game. We're down 2-0, and they're just passing the ball back and forth between their center backs, and we're just hanging back, letting them do it. And there was no will to go get the ball, even if you get a foul. 3 fouls. We attack these guys, try and take the ball back, and mount a little bit of an offensive push at the very end of the game. You score 1, you never know.
Chances. You're just hoping for something after that.
Toy Shirt had a couple of chances. So, on the FS1 broadcast, they were talking about belief. And to me, the only players that showed any belief were Toy Shirt, Pompeo, and Bürki. That's it.
Yep.
Those are the only 3 players. So now I start thinking, even with the new coach, the new sporting director, I'm starting to think that the mindset of our players is already set in stone. We're a losing club. We can't score. We can't come back. I watched the second half of the Miami game right before us. They were down 2-0 to start the second half to Orlando. What do you think the score was of that game to finish?
2-2.
No. You know what? I honestly, I think it was 4. I think it was 4-2. I think it ended 4-2 Miami, either 3-2 or 4-2 Miami. So they came out believing that they were going to score, that they could come back and win that game. And we do not have that belief.
What's given you the belief that we can go out and score a goal?
Nothing. I don't know. Maybe bringing in Toy Shirt and Cordova once he gets into the game. Right now,
they've been on Reddit. They probably have the same belief I have. Like, we can't
Yeah.
finish. As soon as
Right.
we go
But
down
it's
1-0,
different.
they know, oh, it's done. We're not scoring.
It's different as a player, though. Come
It
on,
is. It's got to
and
be
then as a
different.
fan.
It's got to be different, right? Like, you got to believe in
All
your
right.
skill set, believe in your team, and
So after week 2, we are in second to last place. I know that it's early.
good.
We're only 2 games
Settling
in,
in.
but right. That's how I feel. I feel like
Yeah.
we're settling in now, bottom of the table. Every other team except for us and Kansas City has won a game in our conference.
Yep.
So there's only 2 teams that came back and couldn't produce a result in week 2. So so we're -2 in goal differential. We have 1 point against Charlotte. Now Charlotte came out and they had a stinker of a game against the Galaxy and lost 3-0. So that tells me that they're not a great team.
Yep.
So tying against them at home probably becomes even worse.
Even worse.
And in our next episode we'll preview the Seattle game. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. But that ain't looking good for us either. That's for sure.
Yeah, it could be a stinker of a start. First 3 games.
Yep.
Again, we
Yep.
don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves with Seattle, on this episode, but you knew
We'll
going into this game it was going to be a battle. You were hoping, like I said, I'm pretty sure we mentioned it on the past episode. You're just hoping to come away with a tie.
1 point.
I know you
Right,
didn't feel that
sure.
way. You were hoping to come away with a win. But I think most of us would have been happy with the tie. We would have been pretty happy with the tie.
Well, especially with the possession as bad as it was,
I mean,
but we couldn't even come away with 1 goal.
Yeah.
Or a shot on goal for that matter.
Yeah.
So part of the issue might be our starting 11 here, for this game. Now, we know that that Löwen was out. We knew that going into it. Health issues, family issues. I understand.
I think the surprise.
Hartel was a little bit of the surprise. And then when I looked into it, I'm like, okay, his wife's having a baby. Okay. Sometimes life happens. I get that. But without those 2 guys in the lineup, we're a completely different team. Instead, we had to have Miggy in the lineup. And, he's not a starter in this league. Obviously, I think the hope is that eventually he should be, or he has that potential. And, having him on the roster this year, great. He's homegrown talent, but he's still really young. And to have him starting, and again, I guess the coach came out and said, they want to reward people that have been working hard at practice. Like, all right, I get that. But, again, Wallum, he's getting older. We know he can't do it. Like, how is Pompeo not starting over Wallum? Orozco gets the start over Totland. Now, Totland comes in and then he comes out. So I don't know what his injury status is, but now he's out. And, I think Totland gives you a little bit more offensive. He's fast. He can run down that wing. He can do the overlap. And then Betcher, I think he should be a come in off the bench guy late in the game. If you're down, bring some spark. But as a starter, he's not going to cut it. So whether it's Toy Shirt
supporting, obviously,
or Cordova at some point in the future, but we were outworked here. Dreyer, I think he got the early goal, and that was
just
predicted. I think too.
Just a touch.
Yeah, it was easy.
That easy little touch he had on that. I think it was a volley. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was a volley, and he just side volleyed it in.
Easy, that's for sure.
Made it look easy, and I think he had the best odds to score first when it came to betting. So I know we both made some bets. I went a little bit different with this one because I had the promotional credits. I was trying to win them. So I made 3 bets. I made 1 for City to win or tie, right? So the odds were a little bit less, but I'm like, hey, if we could I didn't really think we were going to come away with the win, but at least a tie, I'll win some money. I bet the over on the corner kicks and lost that one. I went over 10.5, and I think there were 9 corners.
You mentioned
we had a lot of
go the under.
Yeah, we had a lot of corners though last game, and I was like, San Diego's going to get a lot of corners. So if that holds up, then, we might end up. So it ended up being 7-2. They had 7, and then we had 2. And I don't know. We just didn't have enough offense to get any more. So I lost that one. And then I put $5 down on San Diego to win or tie, which paid out. It was minus 495. Well, that was my promotional bet. You're allowed to go up to minus 500. So it was pretty much a guarantee when it came to the betting odds. So they gave me $200 in promotional credits in $25 increments. So I have 8 bets that I got to make it doesn't all have to be in the City game, but I got to make 8 bets, and they're in $25 increments, and they expire, I think, on like Saturday or Sunday. So I have to do it right away. I didn't realize they'd expire.
I'm questioning your judgment here. I would have used the promotional bet on the City tie or win, maybe even the City win, and then thrown your real. I'm assuming this is like real life money versus kind of
No.
fake
It was
money that can
right.
actually come into your account.
It was all real life money because I hadn't placed a bet on DraftKings yet. So I had to place the $5 bet. And if I won that bet, they gave me $200 in promotional. So I went with the more sure bet, the minus 495. And again, they cap you at minus 500. So I went with as close as I could get, really, to a sure thing. And now, moving forward, I have the promotional bets. I'm not sure how that works, because if I bet the $25 promotional bet and I win money, can I cash that money out? I'm assuming yes.
No, there's always some kind of like stipulation on you have to make so many bets or, put that money so far ahead. Like you have to win that money, and then eventually it becomes yours. But you'll have that, like that's how they get you. You think that you're getting this money at some point in time, but you have to keep winning it like 30 times, and then eventually it becomes yours, right? They're not they're not in the business of generally just giving away money.
Right. Sure.
So they're going to make it as hard as possible to get it. And they're not expecting you to string together 30 bets in a row, right? That are going to end up hitting, and then eventually convert that money to.
All right. Well, maybe I'll throw them down on some long shots or something.
Yeah, that's the way you'd like to do it, right?
What about you? Did you hit anything?
So I did I did some small dollar bets on this one because I didn't feel good about anything as I was looking over the book.
Yeah.
I did put down a $5 bet on City to win or tie. Same thing. I think it was plus 140. Yep. And then I did a Besher bet. Anytime goal scorer. I can't remember what the plus was on it, but it felt good. I think it was like plus 400, somewhere in that range. And
he had a tap in. He had the tap in.
And boy, did he have the chance to make me a little bit of money, right? And it just didn't happen.
Unbelievable.
So. Well, usual stuff.
Yep. We'll talk betting odds for the Seattle game. In our next episode, we'll preview that match. I'm going with the other brother, so I'll be down at the stadium, taking a John Boy to the game. And I don't know if he knows it yet, but part of the stipulation. Well, one, they're my tickets, so he's got to buy the beer, right?
Yeah.
So that's number one.
Yeah.
And two, he's going to now have to come be a guest on the next couple of episodes to at least do the game recap. So we'll see if we can get him on next week for Matchday 3 recap. So
I think that's a good call.
Yep. All right. Well, we're right at time. So great episode. Thanks to our listeners. We had a successful launch with our first 3 episodes, already outperforming the NFNP podcast, which is my other podcast. So clearly people are more interested in soccer than they are politics and other things. But certainly go check out NFNP Pod. Go check out our website, nfnppod.com. Give us a like, give us a follow, and we'll keep rolling here. We'll see you at the next episode for the preview of Matchday 3.
Adios.
Oh, I think you're the chosen one, man.